All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios, the coolest, most awesome Western style furniture you're going to find from here to there. Where is here to there? Pacific Coast to the East Coast, and anywhere in between. It's right here in Lubbock, Texas. Hatcreek.us if you need to check it out online. All right, so Friday night, can Texas Tech do the amazing? Can Texas Tech do something that nobody thinks Texas Tech can do tonight? Except for the people who are betting money, and it took Texas Tech from a 4.5-point underdog to a 3.5-point underdog as the day went on. Yeah, okay, they got a shot to take down number one Purdue. You tell me if you think they can do it. We can talk about Tech basketball tonight. Open date for Tech football. Great, gives us time to focus on family, friends, things we need to get done. What do you got to get done this weekend? The open date. Because it's on us now. It's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas after that, Big 12 title game. You got stuff going on. You tell me goals this weekend that you want to accomplish. Most Texan thing you did every Friday, we ask that question. And then, like we said, Tech Open, but Colorado and BYU are your new best friends this weekend. Let's get your thoughts. Let's get your comments. Get them in on the United Supermarkets chat line in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. Start your day every day there. Get those Raiderland hot links fresh every morning. The best links from Raiderland and beyond. Brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. Can they do processing? That's right. You go kill a deer, you bring the deer to them, and they make the deer into awesome venison and stuff for you to eat. It's really pretty cool. Do they have world famous jerky? Yes, they do. Can you get it online if you don't live around Post or Lubbock? Yes, you can. All right. Check them out. They got a great website, Jackson Brothers Meat Locker, Post, Texas, on Facebook as well. Tell them thanks for supporting Raiderland. Also brought to you tonight by the Reserve Culinary Tavern, 103rd and Quaker in Lubbock, Texas, not Slide, 103rd and Quaker. Just a great restaurant. It's not a sports bar, but you can watch the games there, and the atmosphere is so good. The acoustics are awesome. They can put the audio on, and you can actually hear what's going on. So if you're wanting to take in the games tomorrow, head on over to the Reserve. Tell them we sent you at 103rd and Quaker. And, of course, we're brought to you by Shropshire Insurance of Texas, the insurance company big enough for Texas, based out of Lubbock, independent, just like you. Give Jeff and his staff a holler here over the next few days. Tidy up that insurance before the new year starts. You need Shropshire Insurance of Texas. All right. Can Texas Tech take down number one Purdue tonight? What did we learn last night during the win over Wake Forest? I have thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on that United Supermarket chat line. Most Texan thing you did this week, football, anything. It's open line, what we used to call Open Lines Friday. That's right. We're opening up all the lines tonight. You can call in any topic you want all across America. 1-800-TheRaiderland.com. That's 1-800-TheRaiderland.com. Hit that 1-800 number, hit pound send, and you'll be on the air with us live tonight. Old radio habits die hard. Let's get it going on the United Supermarket chat line. Michael gets in. Hold on, I did something there. I can't. What do we got to do to get rid of that? There we go. Got to do that. What is your score prediction on the Arizona State game and the BYU game? Have no score prediction on that. Colorado is a 7-point dog against Arizona State. They're a live dog, in my opinion. Dion kind of got his back against the wall. Coach Prime tell him, hey, you got the right man. We just need more time. All right, give him a reason to give you more time. But as far as just doing a power rating breakdown of the games and everything, no, I got nothing for you. 2.5-point favorite for BYU. I think BYU should win. I've seen nothing out of Cincinnati and what I've watched that makes me think, even at home, they're just going to hammer BYU. All right? So I think you've got BYU winning, and you've got a chance with Colorado winning. Live dog, got a chance. Live dog doesn't mean a winning dog. That means they got a chance. So can you, as Texas Tech fans, root for those two teams this weekend? And here's why, in case you don't know. If Arizona State loses and BYU wins, you and BYU are in the Big 12 title game no matter what. nothing changes for Texas Tech, in my opinion. You still got to beat West Virginia, because even if you back into the Big 12 title game, now you're talking about being like a 10 seed if you win the Big 12 title game. You have to go out and win it. You'd be backing in. It wouldn't necessarily be a good deal. You don't want that. But your high end, as we said this week, is the 3 seed. And that's if you win the next 2 games, Texas Tech. The path is wide open for you. And for those who hadn't heard the discussion, if you want me to talk about that a little bit more, we can. We can give you reasons why Texas Tech is either 3 seed or 10 seed. Pretty much, that's what I think. You're either going to be the 3 seed or the 10 seed. Now, if you lose to Wake Forest, if you lose to West Virginia, it's all off. We got basketball in our brains too tonight. So get in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Huge opportunity tonight for Grant McCaslin's team. Coming up about 8:30, which I figure that'll be closer to 9 on the tip-off. Number 1 team, top-ranked team in the country right now, Purdue. And they're damn good. They got a great point guard. They can go inside, outside. They do whatever they want to do. So you have a tremendous opportunity. HoopsHD.com. We pay attention to 2 sites. These are the 2 sites you need to pay attention to during college basketball. HoopsHD.com and Bracketville.wordpress. All right. Dave Almond on Bracketville does a great job. Real-time bracket. What's going on, where you would be seated. He likes Texas Tech in that 3-4 slot right now. HoopsHD.com. The nitty-gritty numbers are the closest you're going to find in real time to what the NCAA selection committee would be looking at right now. They bumped Tech up to 21 after the win over Wake last night. Was it a close game? Yeah. Did you win? Yeah. That's all that really matters, because the last couple of years, Texas Tech hasn't been able to win that game, whether it was a St. Joe's or a Texas A&M or whatever, that you left a lot of meat on the bone in November and December non-conference, where you were scrambling in conference play trying to make up 2, 3, 4 lines on the seed line. A win like that gets you back into that, I think, 3-4 line. I mean, right now. So, what do you think tonight? This is a very talented team. I like it. I think they're shooting far too many 3-pointers right now. And while these guys are advertised to be great shooters, when you're not shooting it great, go to the rim. Everybody griped about not getting free throws at Illinois. Guess what? You didn't deserve it. You didn't earn it. You earned the right to go to the free throw line. Some guy named Bob Knight talked about that quite a bit when I was covering Texas Tech back in 20-something years ago. You earn the right to go to the free throw line. You see all this high pick and roll stuff, top of the perimeter, and I get it. But if it ain't working, get to the hoop. That's where the basket is. That's where the fish is. The fish are there. Like in football, when I say the fish are farther out, they're out there throwing downfield. In basketball, the fish are down there by the rim. We'll go as long as the conversation is good tonight. I didn't intend to do a show tonight. I'm rocking the hat. I got my tombstone. There you go. I'm your Huckleberry. Oh, I didn't think I was going to do a show tonight. I thought, hey, open week, everything, but we got too much stuff going on. Wendy, if we win next Saturday, are we considered the Big 12 Conference champions? Yeah, you'd be the number 1 seed conference champions. Or do we need to win the championship game to be considered champs? Yes and yes. Never liked college basketball being played in convention center ballrooms. Lighting always looks poor. Dead floor. All right, so Gary on our YouTube channel, right now it's Raiderland. We want 700 subscribers by the end of the night or the weekend or whatever. We want 700. You guys got to share it. You got to invite people in. Tell them we're talking about Tech, college football, basketball, West Texas, things you care about. Here you go, Gary. So I have announced games and settings like that. As you can imagine, I have broadcast games and everything from stringing a phone line across a dirt parking lot at Smyre, Texas, to the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, or you name it, from the most humble sites to the greatest. Cameron Indoor, yeah, Poly Pavilion, yeah, Never got to do Madison Square Garden. Maybe the only regret I have in broadcasting that I didn't do a game from the Garden. Anyhow, talking about the setup. So in 2005 or 6, the Lady Raiders were scheduled to play a tournament down in Cancun. Hurricane or something blew through there back in September. And the next thing you know, we're not in Cancun at the regular Universidad Estadidad, whatever. We're playing the tournament on the grounds of an all-inclusive hotel and resort spa, the Aventura Spa, down like in, I almost said Deep Ellum, Tulum, Playa, that area, like about an hour and a half outside of Cancun down south. And trust me, what Tech men are playing in right now in the Bahamas is beautiful compared to, not beautiful, but much better than the literal hotel ballroom that had limited seating. You could maybe have 300 people in there once the court was in there. The sight lines were crazy. The depth perception was weird. And at the end of the baseline, at the end of the court, there was a wet bar and a margarita machine. At the end of our bench, 15 feet away from the end of our bench, there is a wet bar and margarita machine going full strong the whole time. We got a timeout. We're playing Maryland. And I think we were down. And Coach Sharp is sitting there, talking to the team and everything. All you can hear is, you hear that blender going. About 2 timeouts later, I think I can tell this story now. During a dead ball, she walked over to me. I was right there by the bench doing the broadcast. She said, "This keeps up, I'm going over there and getting me a drink." So, one of the most important games Texas Tech will play in the non-conference, one of the most impactful games that Texas Tech basketball will play is, in fact, being played in the Bahamas on a brutal court in a ballroom that seats about, maybe I think they get like 2,000 people in there. And there you go. Can we not get these things home and home again? And I'm not saying that because I don't want the kids to go have fun and go to great places like the Bahamas. Not that they really get to enjoy much of it while they're there. Really? That's how we're going to do this thing. Okay. I mean, it would be like the NFL playing games in, I don't know, Spain and England and Mexico and Rio de Janeiro and, anyways. Jeff, the key tonight is strong transition D. I would say, one, that's the key to every night. I really think tonight against against Purdue, the key is staying out of foul trouble. First and foremost, you cannot have people like Toppin and Anderson and some of your top players get into early foul trouble. You got to be in it to win it later on, so do that. Now, transition D, I don't know that they're going to try to run you out of the gym. I think they understand that Texas Tech is more than athletic enough to get back on that. I'm more worried about in a half-court setting that you get called for fouls. I mean, you want my keys? Here you go. They're in pink right here. There we go. See? We do stuff. Attack. Get to the rim. Attack offensively. Force them to foul you. Attack. Be moving forward. Get free throws. Shoot more free throws. Make more free throws than they attempt. If Texas Tech will make more free throws than they attempt tonight, they'll win. Turnovers, can't have them. And again, stat early fouls. Shot selection, hey, again, that goes back to attacking the rim. I don't want to see 53-pointers jacked up tonight, all right? Let's go JCTT. You guys getting in on the United Supermarkets chat line tonight. This weekend, it's an open date, but you still got all sorts of reasons to head over to United Supermarkets, do your grocery shopping, and find out all the cool stuff they got waiting for you right there. Hoops. Saw a little rim protection low, but zero perimeter D. Watt looked lost at times offensively. Yeah, it's early. I think a lot of these guys have looked lost at times as they try to blend in and figure out who's doing what, no pun intended, and how you're going to do it. The perimeter defense, Give me another week or two. Well, we got more. We need more games than that. I'll reserve my thoughts on the perimeter defense till late December. Danny, Tech Hoops. I don't see them playing as weak as they did last night. Do they beat Purdue? That's a tall order, no pun intended. Or was it? But if anyone can, it's Tech. I mean, there's a reason it opened up at 4.5 and went to 3.5 almost immediately. That is a big. I mean, even in a so college basketball lines aren't up for a week like football lines. They come out overnight. They populate during the early morning hours. East Coast. Back in the old days, it would be Atlantic City would hit it first, sharpen, and then about 9 o'clock our time, you would see Las Vegas. And now it's a rolling number from about 5 o'clock in the morning our time, 6 o'clock out there. DraftKings and all those markets start to get in. Your Bovadas, your different people like that. But when I see and you do see some hyper moves on college basketball lines, but they hung a number last night, 4.5 overnight, and quickly they said, 3.5. That's pretty good movement because the basketball limits, and when I say limits, the amount an individual can bet, not just a syndicate or anything else, not getting in the weeds here. It takes a little bit to move that. There were a lot of people this morning who woke up and saw 4.5 and said, I want Texas Tech. They can hang with them. Robert Delgado listening to Ryan Hyatt is very Texan. I agree. Hey, are you guys sharing this right now? Are you putting it on Twitter? Are you putting it on Facebook? Are you taking what we're doing and sharing it with your friends on the YouTube channel? Or as my dad would probably have said, that YouTube, your tube, we got one. Share it, grow it. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's see. From Syntax, YouTube, we have got to at least pretend like we are driving to the paint if we want to draw fouls and get open shots. I agree. There's been a lot of high, pick and roll, the weave, all of that. I have hated it since it became in vogue, and I blame Allen frickin' Iverson for it, going back, that long. And it permeated through the game of basketball, percolated in the NBA, then it made its way down. And it's become this, not odd, but the fascination. We're going to run this high weave, pick and roll. We're going to run on the 3-point line. And I get really emotional when I talk about it. To me, all you're doing is embracing poor shot selection when you do that. When you go east-west instead of north-south in basketball, you're engaging in poor shot selection, and you're letting the defense do what the defense wants you to do. We used to talk about this from a standpoint of a zone defense, 2-3 or whatever zone you wanted to run, that when I ran a zone against you, I invited you to be lazy. I invited you to be on the perimeter. I invited you to take 18 to 22-foot shots instead of going for layups. When I see teams do it to themselves on purpose with their offensive design, I still scratch my head. And we're to the point now, I think if you get a dunk, you ought to get 3 points. If you get a layup, you get 2. If you hit anything in the paint, you get 2. And anything outside the paint, in what we now call the perimeter or 3-point line, you only get 1 shot. Why should I reward you for taking a bad shot? Oh, well. Sound like Bob Knight again. We may have talked about this on a plane flight one time. Michael, do you think Colorado will be motivated to win this weekend since they are not going to a bowl game? If they're not, they're stupid. And I think Deion Sanders, I think can motivate them by saying, do you want a job next year? And here's where college football becomes like the NFL. The bad NFL teams at the end of the year, they can't get in the playoffs. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. But every one of those guys is trying to put down tape, as they say in the league. They're trying to show somebody, pay me money to play for you next year, whether it's this crappy team or that crappy team. If anybody understands that and can communicate that to the football players in Colorado, it would be a Deion Sanders, who can tell you, and that's what I would say to my players everywhere. We might not be going to a bowl game, but if you like that NIL check or you want to have a chance to play somewhere, you better ball out. Put something out there. Show me. So again, NIL works in a way that many people didn't think it would, that it actually creates a stronger competitive environment down the stretch for teams that have nothing to play for, but the players have everything to play for. They want the money. How do they get the money? They got to look good. If they go out and throw up dog puke and dog water on that tape, who's going to want them? Chris gets in on our Facebook page. Ryan It's Raiderland. Great win by the Lady Raiders last night. What a strange long trip it's been in one game for the Lady Raiders last night. You give up 31 points in the first period, and I saw the score. I'm like, okay. So I'm divested. I'm like, oh, they've had a really good start. They were probably due a clunker game, whatever. Power 5, Power 4 team, Mississippi State in. Okay. So I really wasn't even, I'd kind of checked out on it. And then all of a sudden you're like, hold on. They're kind of like still in this thing. And they come all the way back, giving up only 31 points the rest of the game after the first period. I'm willing to say right now, it feels like this team is different. We've seen the Lady Raiders the last, 5-6 years get a nice non-conference record. Couldn't translate it into the Big 12. Well, you just took down back-to-back SEC teams in Arkansas and Mississippi State. That's got to count for something. Let's see. Oregon, OU, and Ole Miss will all lose sometime in the next 2 weeks. Maybe not. The Ole Miss thing, and we'll get into it next Monday before the rankings come out Tuesday. But the Ole Miss deal with Lane Kiffin, and he's going to Florida. No, he's not going to Florida. He's going to LSU. That's not true. I heard he's taking over the New York Jets. Wait a minute. There's Jerry Jones who wants to talk to Lane Kiffin. The idea that is percolating about Ole Miss, and if you lose your coach, much like a starting quarterback or a running back or something, you're not the same team. Why should you be seated the same? If Lane Kiffin's gone, is Ole Miss, do they have to be in the college football playoff? Jackie Moon must have promoted that game down in Cancun. That's a real freaking live bear over there. It was about like that, minus the bear. It wasn't bad. Broadcast facility for me was fantastic. Got down there. None of my equipment worked with any of the phone line connections that they had. And that was the best we could do. We had no, like internet, VoIP, anything like what we do now. No ISDN, switch 56. It was going to be a straight phone line back to the radio, network and distributed out. So no, nothing worked. So about 15 minutes before the broadcast of the first game, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I go back down to my room and I get the phone out of my room that I know works with the phone lines there. And I take it down to press row and I plug it into that. And I'm doing the whole game. Good evening and good afternoon from Cancun, Mexico. Ryan Hyatt with you on Lady Raider basketball tonight. And I do, 2 hours or whatever we did on a phone. It was great. Good stuff. Really enjoyed it. At least our man Jeff Haxton hadn't had to do that yet. You let the dogs outside; they're not happy. No. They wanted outside. They'd been inside. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me for verification here. They were inside. They ate. You know what they do after they ate? I let them out. They were happy. Otherwise, they would have not been very happy being in here. Allen Tech, North Carolina. Going to PK's. Texas Tech, North Carolina, second round NCAA soccer, playing in Fort Worth. Keep me posted on this. Hate PKs. Seriously, let's go overtime, like 5 minutes at a time or 7 minutes at a time in soccer. Hate PKs. Chris, bring back the Great Alaskan Shootout. Never got to call it. I know Mark Finkner did, working Tech men's basketball. What the hell year was that? I've lost track. I'm pretty sure Fink did that. Yeah. I just remember one year I was in Hawaii. I think this was in 1990. I was in Hawaii calling Texas Tech Lady Raider basketball, and Jack Dale was in Anchorage calling the Great Alaskan Shootout. I'm almost certain it was Thanksgiving about 1990. I'm like, man, I got the better job out of this deal. Stephen, I think the Wake Forest win will look a lot better in March. They are athletic. Had to play fast tonight. Had to play smart tonight. Play fast all the time, but don't go too fast. Again, attack free throws, get to the line, make more free throws than they shoot, you win. I don't need to see any other stat. Limit the turnovers, stay out of early fouls, and just don't jack up so many freaking threes. It's easy. That's all you got to do to beat the number one team in the country, right? That's how easy it is. Hold on, we have breaking news here. I am not aware of this, and if this is factual, this is really pretty cool. Are you serious here, Jeff? Helmet sticker to Frank Anderson, making it to the big leagues as the Giants pitching coach. All right, so Tony Vitello, the Tennessee College, University of Tennessee coach, took the Giants job. Frank Anderson, former Texas Tech pitching coach in the mid to late 90s, before going to Texas for a little bit, then being the Oklahoma State head coach, and then, going back to the assistant level and everything. Are you freaking kidding me? Frank Anderson? Like, the Giants pitching coach is now Frank Anderson? I'm now a huge Giants fan. Can't stand Vitello. You got to be freaking kidding me. Now, Frank's son, Brett, who played Little League Baseball here in Lubbock, he pitched for the A's, Brewers. God, I lost track how many teams. He made a major league pitcher out of him. And one of my favorite stories in visiting with Frank Anderson, when he was the head coach at Oklahoma State, there in the about 04, 05, somewhere through there, give or take. That's about the time Frank, his son signed a big contract with the A's. I think it was the A's, right out of school. And the first thing that Brett did, his son, was buy this awesome tricked out Escalade. But he had to have his dad, Frank, pick it up, I think, down in Oklahoma City and drive it back to their house in Stillwater. And Frank was like, man, here I am driving this Escalade, and these people around here like, what are we paying our baseball coach, man? What is he driving that thing? I hope this is true. I hope this is one of the coolest things, if this is true. I'm not saying you're a liar, Jeff, but I mean, if he's like the straight up pitching coach, good job. I'll drag his butt on the show here during the Hot Stove League. Yeah, we'll tell some stories. He's a good dude, man. All right, last chance. Texas Tech basketball, can they get it done tonight? What do you think? Most Texan thing you did this week, anything and everything, what you're trying to get done this weekend. Finish up all the Christmas decorations, getting them out and everything ready to go. Boom, on that. My office is a disaster. Raiderland World Headquarters here in the Hat Creek Interiors. Hat Creek Interiors needs to come out here and help me out because, man, it's been a slog of a month. It's one of those times when all of a sudden everything you can think of ends up in your office, and you're like, yeah, I'll put that in its place. That, all right, that's going to be this weekend. Then after that, I got to get my truck cleaned. Yeah, we need to get some stuff done with the truck. Nothing wrong with it, really. Just have a tendency this time of year to drive with the windows down, so the interior gets really dusty, and I don't notice it until somebody else gets in, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, are you living in this? Are you homeless?" No, it's all right. Let's go back up. A couple of more comments before we get out of here. Want you guys to share this, put it on Twitter, X at Ryan Hyatt Media for me, my handle. Put it on your deal. Invite people to join Raiderland on YouTube and on Facebook. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Don't cost nothing. All right, let's see. Texan 11, A&M carpool. Something guy yelled at the constable to come over. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Steven, I have no idea what's going on there. You know? I got nothing. But I'm sure it was a hell of a comment. JC Double T, great point regarding unintended consequences of NIL and player engagement on bad teams. Most thought it would go only one way, quit and portal. Instead, put something on tape. Yeah, that's how you get the next job. And again, that's the drop down of the NFL and pro sports into college sports now. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. The Frank news is not fake, unlike what I posted about Sonny last night. Double checked. All right, I'll go with that. Weekend goals, Christmas decor for sure. Yes. It didn't rain like we expected yesterday because you didn't wash your truck. No, here's why it didn't rain. I got everything off my porch that didn't need to be on the porch at a time when it might rain. That's my fault. I did it earlier in the week. I was ahead of the rain. I was ahead of everything. And I got all that stuff off the porch. And I even texted my wife and said, it's not going to rain. I mean, I got everything cleaned off. That's on me. All right, let's see what we got tonight. Texas Tech and Purdue. Here in about 3 hours, we could be living in a very different world where Texas Tech is taking down the number one team of the country and has the attention of the nation, more so than they already do on basketball. No show tomorrow, obviously. Maybe the Saturday column with no name comes back. I promise you nothing, though. I promise you nothing. I do promise you Sunday for sure. If you don't hear from me tomorrow on the site. Now, we'll be on social media, on Twitter X, and on our Facebook page. And we'll have our daily dose of West Texas later on tonight, which you guys seem to really like that stuff. I'm enjoying it. We may have you guys start sending in your daily dose of West Texas, cool pictures and artifacts and everything else. But we will have our Sunday column for sure. Then we're rocking and rolling. It didn't rain because I cleaned out the rain gutters. Yeah. And I hope this is fake news. Tech soccer beat NPKs by North Carolina. That's the case. Tom Stone, another hell of a year. One of the most consistent programs at Texas Tech right now. In a sport, they said you could never be competitive. You'll never win. No one will ever come to Lubbock to play soccer. Hey, if you got beat today, you got beat PKs. That's the weirdness of it. Sucks. Hate that. Hate that if that's the case. All right, you guys were awesome. Share this with as many people as possible. We're going to have it up on the website, theraiderland.com, in just a little bit. And then let's have some fun this weekend, all right? Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you wherever we see you on our different platforms and everything else. That's a cool thing. You guys can always get a hold of us at theraiderland.com.